Hey everybody, how you doing today? This is Carpo with my little book of Zen here. I went down to Goodwill earlier today, and as usual, I always dig through the book section. And the minute I saw this book, I knew who it was for. It's for my oldest son, who's 21. And I was trying to explain to him my philosophy on life. In a way, I was trying to say that I really don't have one, constantly in change. But that Zen is the closest approach to understanding life that I know of. And as a disclaimer, if you attach to the idea of Zen, if you use that term too often or you become stuck on this being a Zen person, then you've missed the whole point. Zen is merely a description of a way of thinking. It's not a practice, it's not a religion, although there are Zen masters and there are places where people have gone to teach and learn the art of Zen. It's never really been about Zen. It's more been about learning how to get over what we think we know so we can allow the Zen mind to take place, to take hold. And I'll be honest, over the last year or so, I've been on this logical trip. I've been on this rational, logical trip for a year. And I recently sat back and actually thought about it for a minute and said, it's just a phase. And I understand it's an exploratory phase. To try to explain a little further, there are times when I have been overly rational, that this is what life's all about, and that everybody else is who creates these delusions of gods and religions and ideas, that the weight of evidence is really on them to prove it. And then I'll go through a phase where I believe that there is something greater, that there's a greater cosmic mind or awareness, or a god, if you call it that. And then I might become attached to the idea that it can't be proven. Therefore, I will just scoff when people say, well, you can't prove that Earth is alive, for example, that Gaia is real and that the Earth will, is aware and cures itself. And I would say, well, this is true, but you can't prove that it's not. I guess what I'm getting at here is that at a point, a person has to set down their logic and realize that existence is not logical. Everything that we believe to be rational and logical is based on the rational, logical creations that we've made within our deluded state of being human. We've created paradigms within science, within religion, within politics, and people have become very wary of the system, yet at the same time very stuck in what they think they know and believe. And I myself, perhaps it's because of what I've seen people become when they become too obsessed in, say, a religion, and then all of a sudden everyone else is the evil, corrupt one, everyone else is a sinner. And seeing that through my youth is probably what brought me to despise religion for so long. And then more years and more research, more understanding that it's not the religion itself but the dogma that causes the problems. Instead of saying that a majority of the world is deluded to believe in a God, I would say, why does a majority of the world need this? Why does a majority of the world want to understand? Why do people at all want to understand the world they live in? It's just human nature. So, while you're searching for this truth and you're trying to be rational and you're trying to be logical, sometimes illogical things just come up. Things that can't be expressed through words, things that can't be proven through science, things that can't be understood. And I guess what I'm saying is that I'm finally willing to just set aside any evidence-based ideas that I may have. In other words, I'm always willing to make the claim that yes, I believe that the universe is conscious, but I have no evidence for that. And people would say, well, that's just a warm feeling to believe that we're important, or that the universe is more than just a random chance. To me, it's just fodder, nonsense. I say, how can you think anything's by chance or by creation? It just is. It just is. And the same way with the God, we can't prove or disprove that a God or a higher being or entity or energies exist. I'm just going to say that the more that a person tries to disprove and rule out things that they feel in their heart may be true or are true, it's a double-edged sword, I guess. You can, no matter which way you look at it, you end up getting yourself in trouble. If you believe something, then you're believing. If you don't believe something, then you're not allowing yourself to see the possibility. For example, the 1% chance or 0.01% chance that in my mind that Christians might be right. If I don't give it at least that 0.1% chance, then what good am I to have my own opinions? And by keeping these ideas in the back of our mind, we can start to embrace our own ideas while at the same time being open to other people's. And what it means to me to be human is to be happy and emotional and excited and enjoy life. And the rational, logical mind does not seem to be able to adhere to that consistency. If I walk out into the world and I can look at a leaf and wonder about it, as opposed to trying to logically explain it and say the chlorophyll, it's taking sugars and it's producing energy, and these things they just don't compute in the, maybe it's the primal mind, or maybe it's the spiritual mind, or whatever you want to call it. And I've spent a long time trying to explain my point, I guess, which is that sometimes we have to believe in things that are a little bit illogical in order to live a logical life. I'm not going to try to explain it any further because I've wasted too much time already, and time is money. I'm going to read some of these Zen quotes because that's what I originally came here to do. Zen, in its essence, is the art of seeing into the nature of one's being, and it points the way from bondage to freedom. Outside teaching, apart from tradition, not founded on words and letters, pointing directly to the human mind, seeing into one's nature and attaining Buddhahood. Walking is Zen, sitting is Zen, whether talking or remaining silent, whether moving or standing quiet, the essence itself is ever at ease. Refraining from all evil, not clinging to birth and death, working in deep compassion for all sentient beings, respecting those over you and pitying those below you, without any detesting or desiring, worrying or lamentation. This is what is called Buddha. Do not search beyond it. Calm and quietude is not real calm. When you can be calm in the midst of activity, this is the true state of nature. Happiness and comfort is not real happiness. When you can be happy in the midst of hardship, then you see the true potential of the mind. And I hate to quote on these, but some of them just resonate exactly with how I feel. Happiness in having and being happy is one thing. Happiness in the face of adversity is something to be cherished and embraced. Do not seek the truth. Only cease to cherish opinions. A primary aim of Zen is the uncovering of what is known as inherent knowledge. It is said that the ignorant are obstructed by ignorance, while intellectuals are obstructed by intellectual knowledge. One way of getting past these obstacles and approaching inherent knowledge is to let go of whatever comes to mind. And I'd like to say that that quote really summarizes the entire video that I just made, which is the ignorant are obstructed by ignorance, and intellectuals are obstructed by intellectualism. The skeptic, the logical, rational person, is cheating themselves of some of the things that are not logical in life. I know that. I believe that firmly. But I also believe that some of the people who delude themselves rob themselves of some of the knowledge of intellectualism, of being aware and actually knowing something. There is no path. Zen mind is not Zen mind. That is, if you are attached to Zen mind, then you have a problem, and your way is very narrow. Throwing away Zen mind is correct Zen mind. Only keep the question, what is the best way of helping other people? And that goes back to what I said earlier about how if you're obsessed with Zen, or if you talk about Zen, it becomes Zen, then it doesn't mean anything. I've considered myself a Zen person for the last 5 years, but I rarely mention the word because it detracts from what it actually means to me. Zen is nothing more than a description of a way of being that I relate to, not a religion, not a statement or a belief system. It's just a way of looking and laughing at the self and the world. One who excels in traveling leaves no wheel tracks. One who excels as a warrior does not appear formidable. One who excels in fighting is never aroused in anger. One who excels in defeating his enemy does not join issue. One who excels in employing others humbles himself before them. Each soul must meet the morning sun, the new sweet earth, and the great silence. And this is one I marked because I liked it a lot. This is as far as I got, actually. I just flipped through a few of them. I got this for my son, but I had to read through it first. An inch of time is an inch of gold. Treasure it. Appreciate its fleeting nature. Misplaced gold is easily found. Misspent time is lost forever. Past and future are illusions. They exist only in the present, which is all there is. Which is what there is and all that there is. And, you know, a lot of people in these modern New Age groups have taken the Zen approach and turned it into a Western type application, such as being silent, meditation, and especially this past and future don't matter. And I think it's really important to remember that the past and future don't matter and they don't exist. The video I made earlier today is in the past. It means nothing. The video I'm going to make tomorrow, I have no idea, so it means nothing. And this video, this reality I'm in right now, is all that matters. At the same time, I think that some people overlook that, and they tend to forget about the past mistakes that we've made, and therefore make the same mistakes in the future. And that's a very hard one to overcome. When I begin to sit with the dawn in solitude, I begin to really live. It makes me treasure every single moment of life. Nothing is worth more than this day. You have to live on this earth 24 hours of daily time. Out of it, you have to spin health, pleasure, money, content, respect, and the evolution of your immortal soul. Its right use, most effective use, is a matter of highest urgency and of the most thrilling actuality. All depends on that. We shall never have any more time. He who binds himself to joy does the winged life destroy, but he who kisses joy as it flies lives in eternity's sunrise. Huh. Happy the man, and happy he alone, he who can call today his own. He who, secure within, can say, tomorrow do thy worst, for I have lived today. John Dryden. these quotes repeat over and over, these same ideas of living in the moment. And it's because sometimes we have to impress this back on our minds severely over and over and over and repeat this. Same reason we read a book we've already read. Gain new knowledge from it, new insight, watch a video about something, see a part we might have missed. Don't think that we know everything just because we've learned it. We need to relearn it and see it with fresh eyes each day. Write in your heart that every day is the best day of the year. I guess I've gone long enough. Those are some pretty good quotes. It's a pretty big book, but I think I made my point. I've kind of pushed my time limit here. I hope you all are doing fantastic, and I hope that somebody's gained a little bit of insight from this, because really that's all we're doing is helping to feed each other and to learn from each other, learn from our mistakes, learn from our growth, and yeah.